Namaste, Jai Bharat. Way back in 16th, 17th centuries, the Europeans took great sea voyages towards the unknown distant land. But much before that, when Bharat had about 7 lakhs universities around in the nation, people from all over the world used to come here, stay, study, and go back. That's a period much before this after Christ phenomenon. They knew about Bharat because those who were looking for knowledge, those who were thirsty for knowledge used to travel. Wherever they are, they knew where to go for what. But the normal, mundane kind of people, not scholars, who were sea travelers, they tried to find out ways to reach Bharat because Bharat was otherwise somehow known, an enigmatic land for many of them. So they came here and found everything new. And they didn't, they never treated Bharat as a market. They treated Bharat as a source of several things, including primarily knowledge. Most of them were not knowledge seekers. They were either voyagers or then subsequently traders. But even then they were traders. They did not treat Bharat as a market to begin with. But later, through time, Europeans started looking at Bharat as a market and market alone. And they continue it even today. But they have not yet realized that Bharat is not a market alone. Of course, it's a market. That way every place is a market, if you talk about that. But Bharat, they treat as just as a market. But then that had been a mistake, and now for the days to come, that's going to be a very crucial mistake, fundamental mistake, that would spoil your relations with Bharat, and obviously your trades gets destroyed. This is what happens in most of the places, especially with the Europeans, the US related people, etc. and etc. So many things they have been doing, treating Bharat as a market. Then that is no more the case with a self-respecting. The Bharat had always been self-respecting. And then the two things, one is self-respect, and second is being conscious about self-respect. Self-respect had always been there with Bharat, but the consciousness about self-respect is a phenomenon which has been demonstrated or revealed of late with the last 10 years of rule of Modiji, 10 plus years of course, of Modiji. This was latent, this was inbuilt, and this continued there, remained latent but undoubtedly very powerful. That has been just touched. The whole society's perspectives undergoes in the modern terms paradigm shift. Actually it's not a paradigm shift, this was already there, but being conscious about self-respect is something which had been revealed, which was there but then now got revealed, not generated. So many things can happen. If you don't treat Bharat with respect, then we wouldn't care for such people. We wouldn't care, and that's precisely what's happening. They tried, they forgot, and they didn't realize that Bharat is awakening. It's something like, you're sleeping, lying, you poke and wake him up and then start crying. And this crying phase is only just starting, just revealing. But that's going to be for future. We don't care in the sense we had endured so many things. Not like the kind of torture which you had undergone, but entirely different. All kinds of pressure we had undergone for 1,000 years plus. And even with post-independent time, the so irresponsible kind of people ruled us with hardly any sense of belonging to the nation and the culture of nation, which we call as Sanskriti. Whereas culture is entirely different from the concept of Sanskriti, it's a different issue. things shall not be the same anymore. So, if you would like to be having decent relations, learn to respect others. It's a common thing which everyone speaks is that give respect to take respect. You can't demand respect. Rather, respect ought to be commanded through your qualities and behavior. That's how you command respect, not by producing a word of command like what is done in the army. Not like that. So it's time that Europe should wake up. Better if they wake up and understand and behave accordingly, or face the kind of whatever consequences. We are not telling that we are going to do this like the Americans said we are going to crush the economy of Bharat. Fine, that's a stock, and the stocks reveals how empty it is, which indirectly, which reveals in time how empty that person who spoke such stupid thing is. Same is the case with President Trump, who speaks so many things when nothing happens. He had been talking so many things about all things in the world, and whereas nothing has happened, so people can read things. People won't stop taking him as serious. I don't know who advises him for what. And I don't know. He speaks like what? That's his problem. But people will see things and they'll stop taking him serious. That's what I think. Anyway, just remember that Bharat is not a market. Stop thinking Bharat is a market alone. You can trade, but in a legitimate way. Legitimate in our sense is that to take respect, you start first giving respect. Give respect and take respect, and at least try to be equal to us. And we should have the superiority complex with you on comparison with the Europeans, because in front of knowledge tradition, given knowledge tradition, given culture, the people of Bharat are far superior to the people of Europe. Accept it, because it's a fact, but we are not interested in making you realize it. It's better if you realize, and it's alright for if you don't realize. We don't care, it makes no difference to us. But that superiority which you think is an inferiority, from where this spurious kind of attitude develops. So just remember that. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.